Good evening. Welcome to 656 Sports and Things. My name is Nathan. It just broke maybe 3 hours ago that the U Sports winter season is canceled. Now, for you who don't know, for those who don't know or who do not live in Canada, U Sports is essentially the Canadian answer to the NCAA. It's where collegiate athletes go and play. We had some players play in the National Basketball League who were U Sports athletes. Noel Moffat, he played last year for the St. John's Edge. He played 2 years ago for the Windsor Express. We've had some players come out of Ottawa. Traditionally, what will happen is this is another option for players. I'm going to use a hockey example. Not everyone is good enough to play top A junior. So this is a huge thing for that to be canceled. It cancels pathways for youth to stay in Canada and go after collegiate sports. For the longest time, if you were a basketball player, I cannot speak today. I apologize. 13-hour overnight shifts will do that to you. I forgot what I was going to say. It's going to come back. Give me a quick second. If you are a young high school basketball prospect in Canada, the only real option for you is to go to the States and get your stuff honed there. Even if you never make it to professional level, it's to say go to the States. They have better clinics there. We even see people going to high school and playing their high school ball in the States. Now it's become that demanding. Granny Glaze, I believe, played for the Edge as well. This is going to be a lot of NBL talk too. This is the league I'm most familiar with, and it's Canadian. It's one of the only leagues, going other leagues between the Canadian Elite Basketball League that has a basketball team. Granny Glaze, who played for the Edge, played for the Express, playing overseas, went into his prep school in the U.S. just to get more exposure. There's been a huge battle for Canadian athletes without the exposure. I'm not just talking about things like basketball. Yes, basketball is a very good program. Basketball is the one that comes to mind most often, but you also have the U Sports hockey teams. Here in Halifax, there are two teams, Dalhousie Tigers and the St. Mary's University Huskies. And that opens up a lot of pathways to people, because not everyone is 15, is good enough to play junior, or who wants to play junior. If you're a 15-year-old kid and you have to leave your hometown and travel to a place that you've never been to before to play hockey, and have no guarantee of making it, you might think U Sports might be the way to go. Or even if you're 21, you age out of junior, you still might need that little bit of seasoning, and you end up playing U Sports. There are some pros who've done that. Marcus Power comes to mind. But this is a big deal, not even for professional athletes, but it's going to drastically hurt the women's game here in Canada. Yes, there are some really good players who are women's athletes who go play in the U.S. They're collegiate hockey. There's no real women's junior league right now. But not everyone does that. Some people do go and they play U Sports in Canada. It does happen. Not even those sports, things like track, things like football. Can't, because of the current situation, you can't really play football and not touch each other. You're hitting each other on every play. It's bound to happen. I just think it's a dark day. I know what's happening in the States. There is some college football in the States, but can you play football without touching each other? Is there any way around it? Even volleyball's canceled. And volleyball is probably one of the least physical sports in the world. I figured how to talk. This puts an effort of time, because when this whole thing happened, the U Sports Men's Championship was here in Halifax at the Scotiabank. I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens now. Do more athletes not pursue athletics and get scholarships that way? Because you have a lot of people who maybe the only way they can get a scholarship is through athletics. You have people like that. You have guys who the only way for them to get their dreams or to become a doctor is to use an athletic scholarship. Their parents aren't as financially well off. And it helps with hockey. Hockey's an expensive enough sport to play. So let me know what you think in the comments down below if you're Canadian. If this affects the NCAA, I'm not 100% sure. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for talking to me today at 656 Sports and Things, and you all have a great day.